Good afternoon. My name is Phil Rich, and I am sitting in my living room with my friend William, and we are attempting to make a video of the questions for the Gay Men of Wisdom website. And I am using a Braille display, which you can see. I'm tapping it with my finger. And I am reading the questions, and then I'm going to answer the questions. And so this will be something that you can get all wowed over because you've never seen this kind of Braille display before. So I've turned off the voice because I don't want it to interfere. But I think what I'll do is let you hear what it sounds like by turning it on and off so you can hear Tom.
Speech on. Space. Speech on.
That's Tom. And I'd have him sit in my lap, but he's a machine. Now we can begin with the questions. Question 1. Who are you in relationship to others? What role or roles have you always played? Well, this is something. I've always thought of myself as someone who is a good listener. And even as a young person, as a child, I would say that I listened to people. And of course, before I was trained, I tried to get people to do things, take advice, because that's what everybody did. When you don't have training, I think what happens is one thinks that one can tell people what to do because they like you and they believe in you, they'll do it. And when people said yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, and resisted, I would get more and more annoyed because I knew that and believed that what I was saying to people was sensible. But as I got older and as I became a social worker, I learned that it's not advice, but specific suggestions that are important. And telling people what I would do in a situation helps them to think about what they might do. But a good listener also helps people to sort out for themselves what their concerns are in a problem. And that's what makes us good listeners. We're not going to tell people what to do because that just shuts them up. We're not really listening to them if we tell them that they must do certain things. So when someone says something such as, what will I do about going to a particular doctor? I might want to know what he has done in the past, what his concerns are about the particular doctor. I'm getting into the whole thing. When people don't have time, they just tell persons what to do. So that's the way I would answer that. Number 2 says, what talents do you possess and how do you express them in a unique way? Well, I've been told that I am a salty, soulful queen. And I'm sure it's true. And I am theatrical, so I'm rather dramatic. Everything is an opera or a drama, why not? Life is that way. Why should life be dull, as if it were faded laundry linen? So, naturally, I like to tell stories, and I enjoy acting and in that way. I've been in improvisational theater with mental health players, and I've enjoyed the role plays and playing very mean, nasty, rotten, abusive drunks. I've enjoyed that. I've learned an awful lot about alcohol and drug abuse just from doing that. And I have a great understanding of classical music and opera, which I learned in the 5th grade, and it has been a comfort to me ever since. And I really enjoy going with my friends to the concerts and observing the audience and seeing how the audience behaves and all kinds of things. Because part of going to events such as those seems to me to be to observe what the audience is doing and to feel the energy in the room. Listening to music is the other half, and observing what one feels, where one goes in one's awareness when one listens to a great piece of music. And I would imagine those of you who go to art galleries would have some similar reaction. When you go to an art gallery, you want to understand what the picture represents and what it means to you. What does the portrait say to you? It makes perfect sense that that would be the case. Number 3, what permissions do you give to those around you simply by being an openly gay man? Now the key word in this sentence is permissions. I as an openly gay man know that in the so-called straight world, people are very practical. They're very formulaic. They tend, unless they have done their work, to be very matter-of-fact in their feelings and thoughts. And they are also, if they're not since they're not interested in men, what they'll tend to do is go to they'll light up when women come around. Now, to get back to what the question is, what permissions do I give people? Well, I can, as a gay man, allow people to be who they really are, because empathy is the key. And even if I dislike what the person says, a lot of people say things that comes out of their mouths that it's a bit like detritus, and if they could hear it back to them, they adjust. Even many people will adjust it. Well, no, I didn't mean that. I meant that, and so and so. So giving people permission to be themselves, I think as a gay man, I think I can do that. I think it's important that because I have been through so much in being hassled, ridiculed by straight men as a kid, the upbringing is to be heterosexual, I think I can really listen and empathize with people, especially since I've been trained to do that. Number 4 is, what is it about the way you love that the world needs? Now, I think that because I've had to learn how to be a gay man, we are taught to be straight since the day we're born. I'm absolutely convinced that our families bring us up to be straight acting. Their wish is for us to give them grandchildren. And so, naturally, their expectation is that we are going to grow up to be straight. They don't know that. It's an unconscious thing. I don't know any person who would deliberately say, that is right, I gave you birth, and you are to be in my image and likeness, and you are to be straight. I think they have to be primed for that. They have to be confronted with that knowledge before they finally can say it's true. Because I think most parents believe that they want the children to grow up to be who they are. But when the child deviates from the gender identity and from the sexual orientation of the parents and of the society, depending on how well the families have done their work, there's the blowback. The child or the grown-up gets disowned, punished, or rewarded, depending on the work that the family has done. So, I think that since I've had to learn how to be a gay man, I've had to learn how to love as a gay man. Because if I'm a gay man and love as a straight man, there's a conflict. And I think that's something that would be incongruent with my personality. So if I'm a gay man and I love as a straight man, I sort of perhaps may not take the relationship seriously, see myself as promiscuous, and really not really be who I am. So I think that's something that is of great importance. Number 5 says, what happens when you don't show up in the world as your full self? Well, I have not shown up in the world as my full self, as a younger person. I'm not as patient, perhaps. My reactions to other men are more judgments. I'm more incapable of loving the way I would like to. And I'm not also going to be able to allow other people, because I will have been triggered. I will have had triggers in my personality at that moment, where if someone is truly himself, I'll think he's not. He's just being a jerk or stupid or what have you. So, not showing up. And this is the key. The phrase is not showing up. And you know, we have to show up. We have to do our best to show up. It is absolutely essential that we show up. And we have to do it the best way we can. And we get the help we need by supportive adults who are like us, or who are just very supportive. The people in the hetero world who are in the 4th stage of their development from homophobia are the ones who support the gay people, GLBT folk. They're the ones who fight alongside in the trenches with us. So when we get the supports, and it's okay to be who we are, that stops the not showing up, I think. Number 6 is, why does humanity need you? Well, I was a little uncomfortable with this question because I don't think humanity needs no one. Humanity needs us all. But obviously, this question has to do with why we as gay people are meant to be here. And because we are told that we're not needed, that we're scum of the earth, that we're going to go to hell, we tell ourselves that we're not needed. And so the question seems to be, why does humanity need us? Well, first of all, I think we have a whole different way of looking at the world than so-called straight people do. We really do. We have a whole different way of self-expression, and we have a whole different way of doing things. Our gender roles and our sexual orientation are unique and have a certain amount of diversity, and are so important to us, to the world, that if people could look at how we do things, they adjust it. I have noticed that even with the black culture, when I lived on Long Island, we had a lot of blacks down there, and I could hear people imitating, not in a mean way, just naturally emulating the sounds of black folks' speech. Hey, how's it going, or whatever. That's the only thing that comes to mind right now. And so I think, in terms of why humanity needs us, if we can be who we are, so-called straight folk soften, and they become more gay in a straight way. If putting it as simple, in a rather simple way for the moment, they get more fluid, they get more relaxed, and they become more open to experience, and they become better lovers. And I think that's why humanity needs us. I really do. Now, I have enjoyed doing this. I don't know that I've done perfectly on this, but I have enjoyed it, and I look forward to sending it to you, and I look forward to your listening to it. And God knows whether I'll change all this, if I have to do this again 6 months from now. But at any rate, I want to tell you that I have enjoyed this, and I look forward to hearing your reactions to it. And thank you for giving me this opportunity.